Here's a fun little riddle for you to try and figure out. What do Ruby Franke, Bobo Franke, Jodi Hildebrandt, and Vallow and Chad Daybell, what do they all have in common with each other? Well, it turns out it's this little group. This little group called Eternal Core. Look, you can see Jodi right there. Look, little Jodi. So what is Eternal Core? That's probably what you're asking, because I was asking the same thing. It turns out that it is a community for practitioners and those struggling with mental and emotional health who are seeking treatment outside the bounds of modern pharmacology. And guess who runs this group? Leadership of the Mormon Church. Look, there's Mr. Tom Harrison right there. You remember us talking about him? Tom Harrison from Visions of Glory. And looky, what do you know? Tim Ballard right there next to him. So some of you will know Mr. Rotting from the Inside Out, Tim Ballard, as being associated with that propaganda film, Sounds of Freedom. Sounds of Freedom. You remember that one that Mama Tot was promoting on this platform? Yeah, well, Sounds of Freedom was supposedly a part of this wider organization that Tim Ballard was a part of, and they claimed that they were saving child sex trafficking victims. That's the claims they made. But the claims were actually false. And then the claims got even worse when it came out that Tim Ballard had been sexually assaulting and harassing the women that worked for him. Good old Mormon Tim Ballard. And if you need a reminder what this I'm rotting from the inside out pig looks like, there it is. Not only is Tim Ballard associated with this completely disgusting cult called Eternal Core, which is all about brainwashing and taking advantage of mentally ill people, he is also associated with the American Covenant. The American Covenant, which is all about how the Mormons need to take over America and subjugate women and minorities to make it one big white Christian Mormon nation again. Which is also the same values, principles, and goals of Liberty 89, which is another foundation that Tim Ballard, a leader within the Mormon Church, is a part of. Liberty 89, which is all about, again, subjugating women and turning America into a Mormon theocracy. But here's another real fun one. You see that man in the middle right here? That old puffy man? Yeah, does that picture look familiar? It's because I've shown it to you a few times. That is Tom Harrison, and he is basically the one behind Visions of Glory, which is the crazy book that Lori Vallow used to justify killing her kids. Look, there's a picture of her reading it in Hawaii with the man that she had helped murder her kids. Visions of Glory, right there. So that book, which is all about your children getting possessed and you needing to kill them, and portals opening and all this really crazy stuff, written here by Mr. Tom Harrison. And Tom Harrison is the lead of Eternal Core. And you remember what I told you about Eternal Core being all about helping people with mental health issues? Yeah, it turns out Tom, not a licensed therapist. He's advertising himself as a psychologist and a licensed therapist, but look, he is not a currently licensed CSW in the state of Utah, but he's running a mental health therapy group. Great, huh? And they're all tied into this. They're all tied into this American Covenant, Visions of Glory. Let's turn America into a theocracy. And they're all about abusing, even killing children if necessary to get there, as can be evidenced through the paper trail that leads Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell directly to Tim Ballard and Tom Harrison. This is much bigger than just some sensationalized bad moms who got on social media to be bad moms. Okay? Something terrible is brewing in the Mormon Church, and these are just the first horsemen of that apocalypse. So it's time to stand up and start calling a cult a cult. Tim Ballard, Tom Harrison, watch you next.